Alright, welcome to the channel everybody. What have I done? I've traded in my Gen 3 Super Duke R for Super Adventure. The big question is, have I made a mistake? Got my minging old summer gloves as well. Alright, let's get going. So why have I changed? I absolutely loved the Super Duke R. I can't say it was without its issues. I had a few problems with that, mostly when I first bought it. There was a little bit of damage found that had come from the factory. Brakes were sticking. I can't remember now. Lettering came off the exhaust, which I put an aftermarket one on. It didn't really matter, but as it was a brand new bike, it shouldn't happen. Yeah, just one or two little niggly bits and pieces. After about 16,000 miles, I had a rear wheel bearing collapse, but everything was sorted under warranty. So why the change? I rode one of these probably about a year ago now, maybe 18 months. A friend of mine has one. I have another bike. I was on my VFR at the time, and we come out of a cafe in the Lake District, and he just said, "Oh, let's have a swap." So I got on this, he got my VFR, and straight away I thought, I don't like this. You know, all my bikes were sort of a sportier position. This was, you sat very high. It's got the automatic suspension, so sitting on it immediately, it does feel sort of quite soft and wallowy. Oop, that was a bit rough. And I just thought, I'm not going to like this. So we set off. We were somewhere around Patterdale, going up the side of Ullswater, and as soon as you got it on the twisty stuff, whatever the suspension does, it will stiffen itself up as you start pushing it. It was awesome. I was really impressed, to the point where I said then, had I test rode one of these when I bought my Super Duke, I would have had this, hands down. You know, it was always in the back of my mind that I wanted one. And then New Year's Eve, we went out again. A couple of us meet up, we go for a bit of a ride, have something to eat. We try and do it New Year's Eve, it's somewhere around there. And we rode up to Hawes. I had the girlfriend on the back of the Super Duke. We got to Hawes. Obviously it's not the most comfortable bike for a pillion, but she was quite cold. She was covered in crap all the spray off the back wheel because I only had a tail tidy on it. But she did like it on the Super Duke. We'd had something to eat. We'd come out the pub. My mate said, "Why don't you two ride mine back and I'll go on the Duke?" So we hopped on this, and we just absolutely shot off. I mean, the conditions weren't great, but if you know the road, we rode back from Hawes to the Ribblehead Viaduct and through to Settle, is it? There's a petrol station there, and we was waiting for about, well, it was me and another guy on a GT. We were waiting for about 10 minutes for the guy on the Super Duke, and he's usually quicker than us, or quicker than me anyway. The difference on it for wet weather riding, 2 up, the comfort, it was a no-brainer. So a week or two after that, I can't remember now, a couple of weeks after, I had to pick something up for my bike from the dealership, and while I was there, I just said, just out of curiosity, what would you give me for my bike? Because they had a few of these in. The 2023 bikes were coming out, so there was a discount on them, and they give me a price. I had better prices from elsewhere, but they matched it. I had quite a lot of power parts on mine, so stripped all them off, sold them separately. That paid the deposit for this, and that was it. That's where we are. So the bike is about 5 weeks old now, so I suppose it's a 5 weeks review, or to be honest, I'm almost up to 3,000 miles already, so I suppose you might as well call it a 3,000 mile review. Rally mode along here, I think. But yeah, I've not been in a position where I thought I missed a Super Duke. Power difference on this, fly tippers are scruffy bastards. Power difference, so it's 20 horsepower I think, and they've done something with the torque, but it's plenty fast enough for me, more than enough power. Fuel economy has been brilliant. I can squeeze nearly 60 miles to the gallon out of it currently, sat on the motorway just cruising along. If you go over to Sam Vincent's channel, he does his maps, he's got an exhaust on it. I don't know if he's done anything else, but he managed, I think, about 280 miles out of a 23 litre tank, so you can't complain at that. The only thing I do find with this compared to the Super Duke, I find that I'm always in too high of a gear. Whatever they've done to the mapping, it's just, it pulls so much better. On the Super Duke, 6th gear was pretty much useless on the road. You had to be doing sort of 80 to 90 mile an hour, otherwise it would be cogging. I feel like it was chugging along. But on this, yeah, you've got no problems whatsoever. But the big thing for me is this semi-active or semi-automatic suspension. It is fantastic. The dealer has told me to not use the preload adjuster while you've got weight on the bike, which I find a little bit strange, because if you think you need to up the preload a bit, you don't want to be getting off, taking all your luggage off or your pillion and adjusting it, get everyone back on, try it again. I'm not overly convinced with that, but it's under their recommendation. I think they've had some gears strip. There's like a stepper motor that controls it. I'm steaming up. Just got a new helmet as well, so I've gone for a LS2, but in the KTM colourway. So you can only get this from a KTM dealer, and they're a bit thin on the ground by the looks of it. I think it's an older design. There we go, that's me leaving it in the wrong gear. Good place to stop. Yeah, you don't. a couple of weeks ago I went out with a friend of mine, who's another pro YouTuber, Mark from Leeds, although he doesn't live in Leeds, he's just near it. And we had a quick swap. He jumped on this and I jumped on his GS. First time I've ridden a GS. He's ridden, I think he's ridden one of these before. And I think you go over to his channel and watch the video, but I think his words were, "This is quite possibly my next bike." And I've had quite a few GS owners say the same thing, that they would have no problem making the switch. I think the big thing that holds them back is just that the aftercare, what you get off the dealers compared to BMW. It's just not quite as good. And the servicing cost on these compared to a GS is also quite a bit higher. Obviously, like the valve checks and stuff on the GS, the heads are there sticking out the side of the engine, dead easy to get to. I did the ones on my Super Duke, it wasn't too bad. I just did an hour here, an hour there. Once you got the fairings off and stuff, it was pretty simple. On this there's a lot more plastic to come off, and the fuel tanks go down the side of the bike here, so there's a bit more involved. So obviously the dealers charge more, expected, you know, you expect that. Excuse me. Yeah, so pretty much it's all plans for the channel. Initially I want to try and get a video out once every 2 or 3 weeks. Hopefully I can stick to that. Just while I build up some footage, get some stuff in the bank, so to speak. Obviously the weather's turning now, so people are going to be out more. I mean, I ride all year round anyway. I'm not too fussed about the weather. I don't like setting off when it's really bad, but if it rains or anything while I'm out, yeah, so be it. Also, I've got this helmet that I'm going to give my thoughts on. I've already got 1 or 2 bad points, one of which is the fact it's just randomly steamed up. So yeah, if you've made it this far, well done, thanks for sticking around. If you've liked it, then also click like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.